You know what? I feel like hip hop Harry right now. Go, 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 go. Who's next? I feel like hip hop Harry. I'm gonna line you all up. I'm gonna line these girls up and be like, look, step in the ring. Who's next? Let's get into it. What up, everybody? What's up? What is up? Okay, let me tell you something. Can you hear me? Everything's good. I'm about to start running my mouth. Okay. If you believe Christopher Columbus was a trifling ass slaver, man, I want to hear you make some motherfucking noise. What's up? If you believe Christopher Columbus was a trifling slaver, I want to see you put your hands up right now. I want to see you make some motherfucking noise in the building, bitch. If you believe he should have stayed his ass in Spain, where the fuck he came from, I want to hear you scream. I want to hear you say, make some motherfucking noise in the building. Where y'all at? Woo! Make some. Girl, they are throwing a fit. And I know my UK girls over there because I just talked about it, about what happened in Bristol. Apparently, what's up? Apparently, them girls over there were so angry. I talked about this on the podcast, patreon.com/AgelExpression, get into it. But them girls were so pressed about this statue coming down. Oh my God. Miss Judge Judith said that he discovered water. But yeah, them statues did discover that water. They tore that shit. There was one, was it? I think it was in Boston. Okay, so it was both in Boston and in Richmond, but in Richmond, Virginia, they actually tore the statue down. I think, if I'm getting it right, they tore that statue down and they told them girls, okay, well, if you really want to go, if you really want it that bad, it's time for you to just whip out the hooks and stuff and just go get it from the fucking sea, from the lake. Richmond, Virginia, but then in Boston, they beheaded it. It's like the head was chopped off of the statue, and I was like, for the life of me, I don't understand. Well, I guess I do understand. But it's just like, wow, a lot of people are more focused on the fact that this is what is it? This is the property of the people. You can't, this is mob justice. You can't just go out there and tear this shit down. I'm just like, I can't imagine looking at people's faces and who have been the victims of generational like racist violence, for you to look in their faces and be like, well, we know he was a slaver, but I don't know why y'all are mad. Like, what are you talking about? Well, I know he was bad. I know it was bad for y'all people and shit, but you need to just let it. Why are you that worried? Stop living in the past. That's their favorite thing. Stop living in the past. Girl, you're right. I'm not living in the past. I'm living in the present. And that's why Christopher Columbus' whole trifling ass, his statues need to be going ahead. Pour that into Mariana Trench. I want you to drop it into one of the craters in Mars, cover that shit up, and we can move right along about our business. It would really be that simple. And, you know, if this country actually... I feel like if this country actually was serious about having real conversations about the shitty things that have happened, the racist shit that happened, they would understand, they would care about like what symbols mean. You know, they know what symbols mean when it comes to that tired ass flag. They are very prepared to educate your ass about that cloth that they bought at Walmart that was probably made in goddamn China. They know what symbols mean when it comes to that shit. They're prepared to tell you about that shit. But these statues, it's like, oh, it's like talking to a brick wall. Like they have no idea what we talk about, why it's important to take that bullshit down. And some people are like, oh, well, you're going to erase history. You're going to erase history, girl. And I said this before, but I'm like, y'all have erased history. Y'all have whitewashed history, and it has not prevented us from figuring out what actually went on, girl. Taking down these statues, and I also said this in my podcast, so I'm just like, if y'all would actually fill up the museums with the bullshit of the past of this country, you wouldn't have to go to other countries to steal their shit and put it in your museums, would you? Get out of here. Get out of here. Like they really expect me to care that this slaver like is put his ass in the museum. Put his ass in Fedora. What's up, man? Put his ass in the museum where it belongs. And like I said, I know you girls over there in the UK have been dealing with that shit too. Like everybody's silent when these like racists are being commemorated and immortalized in the streets. But when but everybody's like, I don't understand that shit. When these people are advocating for that shit to be moved, everybody was silent. When people were advocating for these racists to be taken out, everybody was silent. But now that the people have said, okay, enough is enough, we're doing this shit our goddamn selves. Now all of a sudden y'all care about, oh, what about law and order? What about justice and freedom? What about, I'm like, y'all don't get tired of repeating the same shit and nothing new is happening, nothing new, nothing different, the same old, same old. You know what I mean? Let me give you a new style. Let me give you a new cut, a new color. What's up? Okay, so I just had to get that off my chest. Speaking of this, okay, I want to see who all saw that that video of the NYPD. Like they're all gathered, all they white asses gathered up in the back. NYPD, they did some press conference and they were pissed. They were pissed, and it's interesting because like. They have all the protection, they have all the riot gear, they have all the funding, and they could not even handle protests for a couple of weeks and expect us to give a fuck. It's like, sis, we've been dealing with y'all violent ass racist abuse for how long? You can't handle 2 weeks of goddamn protests underneath your riot gear? And all your money and the billions of dollars that's coming into the fucking department? You can handle that shit? You could, a couple weeks versus generational fucked up shit? Are you serious? Miss Mamas came on to they came on to the press conference and they said, stop treating us like animals. Let me see what they said. Stop treating us like animals and thugs and start treating us with some respect. Our legislators abandoned us. The press is vilifying us. It's disgusting. This is what the NYPD is saying. I find it funny because how are you going to brutalize protesters who are protesting police brutality? How are you going to brutalize? I am really crying. I'm crying. How are you going to brutalize the protesters who came out there and say, hey, stop brutalizing us? You're gonna gas their ass. You're going to beat their ass, and you're going to push their ass down so they can split their head open. And you want us to take you seriously when you get up in front of the media talking about, oh, well, Miss Mamas, treat me with some respect. If you don't sit your ass down, you need to treat yourselves with some respect. The fact that y'all walking around, like I said, walking around here with riot gear. Teachers can't even buy no goddamn pencils for their snotty ass, nasty ass children. You know what I mean? Have to come out of pocket, buy fucking posters, anatomy posters, put up in the goddamn classroom for these snotty-nosed ass picnics. You know what I mean? I'm just like, but you bitches over here gassing, and y'all still can't deal with it? I don't care. I don't care. So they were really, and I was like, are you serious? Right? And the fact that they really believed that they were saying something that like was so moving. It was like, oh, you know, I love my profession. Of course you bitches love your profession. You get to live out your bully high school dreams and get paid to do it. Of course you love your profession. I don't expect you not to be when they give your ass a gun and badge after a couple weeks of training and tell your ass to beat up minority people. Like, I don't expect for you to say that you hate your profession. What are you talking about? Y'all hear something? No, I thought it was just the wind. Y'all hear something? I thought it was just a bunch of moving air. Shit, is Aang nearby? I thought that shit was just the wind. So I don't know. It was just like they really live, like, as much as I'm joking about it, they live in a completely different reality. Like you have to live in a completely different world of just ignorance. You have to live in your bubble to not see the like laughable ass irony. Oh, thanks, Daryl. you have to live in a completely different world, a different universe, to sit here and think that the community will be moved by y'all talking about, oh well, you need to respect us, when the tax dollars that the community is giving y'all is literally killing them. Like you have to be living in a completely different world. Like y'all work for us. What are you talking about? If I'm looking down the list and I'm checking, I'm saying, okay, I'm giving you like a job performance list. I'm putting on my glasses. Okay, let's look, quarter review. Bitch, the people are not happy with the way that you're doing your jobs. And so they offered you a pink slip. So the media is vilifying us. How is the media vilifying you? How is social media vilifying you when they're just literally recording the shit that you do and placing it online for everyone to see? That's y'all vilified your goddamn selves. I want you to know that. That's what I want you to know. Now, since we're speaking about, thank you, Jesse. Since we're speaking about the whole system, I want to talk about these Democrats. Now, I hope, well, you have to be really silly to get the wrong idea, especially when you know what I be talking about. You'd have to be really silly to get the wrong idea, thinking that, I'm completely ignoring the Republicans and blah, blah, blah. We already know who they are. But the Democrats like to present themselves as something that they're not. At least these conservatives are just upfront with your asses. Say, I hate y'all black asses. I don't like y'all Spanish asses either. Y'all gay ass need to sit y'all ass down. We conservatives, we don't like y'all ass. I respect that. At least let me know what the tea is in front of, so I know what's going on. Like, just let me know what it is ahead of time, and that's exactly what they do. They let your ass know, hey, guess what? I hate y'all niggas for real. Since the day I was born, I hated y'all, and my father hated y'all too. My grandfather did as well. So I'm just letting you know that we don't like y'all asses, and that's the conservative party. But the Democrats, they like to present themselves as these like game changers and movers and shakers and shit. And ain't nothing happening but they want to strengthen the system that's already in place. These Democrats it was given very much like Jon Snow, Daenerys Targaryen type of tease, the way that their asses got on this motherfucker, on that hard-ass marble floor. Girl, I know they was bad. They got on that hard-ass marble floor and knelt down for 9-10 minutes, girl. I know that their asses was the man. I know that some of their asses was pressing that life alert button quick with a swiftness. They said, bitch, now I know we was doing some optics, but I did not think this shit was going to hurt my knees this bad. Did you see Nancy struggle to get up after they was helping her ass up in the Hillary Clinton ass kidney heels? Girl, let me tell you something. They knelt their asses down like it was giving me Game of Thrones type of tease. I didn't even get on the clock yet. I'm not there yet. They knelt their asses down, and I thought they was doing some type of aerobics ass fucking exercise, girl. I'm telling you right now, you bitches better get you some dancers, skateboarders, roller skaters ass motherfucking knee pads to help y'all ass out the next time y'all try to do this performative optics bullshit ass shit. Okay? I want you to know that if you bitches don't get you some knee pads and some goddamn helmets, the next time you do this shit, safety motherfucking first. Period. Safety first. I know the knees were crickling and crankling and cracking. Crickling, crankling, and crackling and ripping. I know the knees were tired. I want you all, I want y'all to make sure that you wrap, I don't know what you got to go to the hospital for some bandages to put around that shit like you in some martial arts training, to put around your knees like you in some martial arts training. Put them knees to work. What I need for them motherfuckers to do with them knees is bend them at their desks. You hear what I'm saying? Bend them at their desks. Create some actual policy at your desks. Use your knees, bend them underneath your desks, and write some goddamn laws that make some motherfucking sense. Bend those knees. That needs to be the new slogan. Bend those knees at them goddamn desks. Bend those knees at those, you know what I'm saying to you? Bend those knees at those goddamn desks. What the fuck are y'all out here kneeling down like it's some type of, I don't even know. It was giving me very much, that was the most unsuccessful ritual that I've ever seen in my life. You know that rituals, sometimes people bend down, they kneel down, and then usually some shit happens, whether it's magic, you know what I mean? You know, I don't know, but you're summoning some different energies from the multiverse. With rituals, usually when you bend down or kneel down or something, usually something happens. How the fuck y'all kneeling down and ain't shit happening? How are you kneeling down and ain't shit happening? I want you to bend your knees. I want you to, because I know y'all are tired. I know when like the bullshit optics sheet came to y'all desks and you saw kneel down for mainstream media for 9 minutes. I know that y'all ass was like, oh God, shit. Like, I know you immediately went to your intern and was like, yo, make sure you get I need some Tylenol right now. Like, can you go to Walmart right now? You immediately said to your aides and your interns, like, God damn, go to Walmart, pick up some goddamn Tylenol, because they're gonna have us bend down in front of this shit. Like, girl. It's so ugly because Joe Biden was literally up here saying, guess what? I'm going to give $300 million more to the police. That's what he just said. Talking about, oh, well, we need to fund the police so they can reform. We've been screaming reform, 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 reform. Y'all done put body cameras on these motherfuckers and the body camera's not working or we can't see the footage. We done scream reform, chokeholds are banned in a lot of these, the same police departments that people have died from chokeholds from. We've been screaming reform, reform, reform. You've been giving these motherfuckers money with no oversight. Reform, reform, reform. Y'all ain't tired? Kneeling down. And not only that, they had on the kente cloth. They had on the kente cloth. And they had on the kente cloth. They had on kente cloth. They had on the kente cloth. They had on the kente cloth. That shit, I was like, I thought I was dreaming, bitch. I said, let me go back to sleep. And I seen that shit. I said, they had on the kente cloth. Oh, that shit isn't that shit like from Donna? Them girls had on the kente cloth. And you know who gave it to them? You want to know who gave it to them? The Congressional Black Caucus. Literally, I have to laugh to keep from screaming. Apparently, the Congressional Black Caucus. Can you imagine it being in DC and just watching the foolishness unfold, like watching the Congressional Black Caucus literally walk over to the Democrats with the fucking like, am I in like the Twilight fucking zone? I am cackling at the incompetence, you know, and it would be funnier if my life wasn't all caught up in their bullshit, but it is. Oh, it is. Yeah, some of the old people just got to go. It's no shade, but y'all got to go. Y'all so out of touch. It's time for y'all ass to go. It's time for y'all ass to go. Passing them out like it's Youth Sunday. I'm screaming. Thank you for telling me what's up. I'm screaming. Can you imagine them passing them shits out like they are worksheets like bell ringers in the first in your classroom, bitch? I am fucking screaming. Bitch, I'm hungry. I can only imagine them old ass conservative blacks talking about come get your kente cloth and kneel down for CNN. Get me off the planet! Get me off the planet! God damn. Bitch, we gonna be in chains forever fucking around with these bitches. God damn. Oh my God, we gonna be in chains forever fucking around with these hoes. Fuck! Shit. Thank you, Miss Trish. Oh God, that shit was funny to me. That shit was funny to me. Oh, they gathered that shit around like it was a potluck, bitch, passing plates around. They said, bitch, here, come get your kids at Clark, go kneel down for fucking MSNBC and shit. Ooh, bitch, y'all keep saying Kendall Jenner. What the hell did What did she do? Woo, I am crying, girl. Okay, we gotta move on because I'm gonna keep dragging. Oh, girl, speaking about performances, sis, somebody please tell me what happened with Kendall. Oh, never make it live. Y'all protect your energy. Is all I got. What's up, Natalie? I mean, not Natalie. Nelly, I'm sorry. What's up, boo? Okay, so speaking of performances, what's my next hair color? I don't know. I keep going back to blue. I don't know, bro. I gotta decide. I'm gonna be gray like fucking Storm on y'all ass in a minute. The Grammys said, hey, guess what, girls? This shit is so interesting to me. The Grammys said, hey, guess what, Miss Mamas? We are going to we're going to delete the urban, let me make sure I get it right. What is it? The urban contemporary, I think it is. They said we're going to get rid of the urban contemporary category. But the thing is, they didn't really get rid of it. What they actually are doing is they're just renaming it to listen to what they renamed it. And just the name itself tells you how out of touch these motherfuckers really are. And they just look at what's trending. They look at what's the words that don't even look at what is trending. They look at the words that are trending and then they use it. So it is disingenuous as hell. She posted a picture of Black Lives Matter poster. In the background, there was no. What? I thought that was an edit. I'm sorry. I'm gonna get back to the Grammys thing. Queen Gazi. That was not an edit. I thought that was an edit when I saw it pop up on my timeline because I don't follow you bitches. She posted a picture with Black Lives Matter poster, and in the background there was no shadow of the poster. You got to be fucking with me. Please tell me that somebody fucking with me, girl. Please. Oh, what is going on today? What is going on today? She said someone else photoshopped the sign. Okay. Okay. I was like, God damn. Okay. So they said that somebody edited it. Apparently, okay, she didn't post it. Okay, because I was about to say, like, wow, like, sis already damaged us enough with the Pepsi. Like, it's okay, boo. Like, you put in as much damage, sis. You don't have to go in for the extra, the finisher, the fatality. I was like, damn, sis. Okay. Oh God. Okay. So the Grammys, they said, hey, guess what? We're getting rid of the urban contemporary. We're getting rid of the name urban contemporary because we've seen what's been going on in the conversation that's been happening with all these niggas dying in the street and you bitches' blood is on the street. So I guess we could rename the shit, right? Dumb Girl said, we're going to rename it to Progressive R&B. Now, people are really so dense. We don't care about what you name it. Not insurance. I'm screaming, Maya. I'm screaming. Somebody said not insurance. Oh, Miss Flo is about to pop up and start screaming y'all music to give you your awards at the goddamn Grammys. Progressive R&B. I want Flo to come up and give these awards out at the Grammys since y'all hoes talk about progressive R&B. Bitches giving Geico 15 minutes to save you 15% or goddamn more. Woo, girl, it's giving insurance tease, honey. It is giving insurance tease. I want Flo to come up there. Miss Progressive, Miss Flo is giving very much blue, honey. She's gonna come up there. She said, girl, what are you currently paying right now for your car insurance? Here's your Grammy. Get out my face. These girls talk about it. Okay, so so these girls are literally saying, hey, guess what? We're going to rename it Progressive R&B. And it's just like, the whole point, you idiots. The whole point of us talking about what's going on with the Grammys and how Black artists are treated, it's not the goddamn name. It's the whole point of it is not the goddamn name of the fucking category. It's how you all treat these, how a Black artist could make a pop album and you shove them in urban categories. A Black artist can make a fucking alternative album. You don't want to put them in these categories, like the major categories, because it's a genre. Instead, you look at the skin color of who made the music and you shove them all in one category. That's the whole point of people having these conversations around what the Grammys are doing. What do you really think that renaming the nigga category, the progressive nigga category, is going to do some shit if you don't actually alter the way that you go about, giving these awards out? And that's why I always say, like, we don't need to use these award shows as any benchmarks because they have no idea what the fuck they're doing. They have no idea what the fuck they're doing. I thought that shit was funny to me. It's definitely, like, let me see. Birds of Prey, yes, ma'am, is definitely giving PR stunt energy. Because if you just change the name of some shit, you don't actually change the way you operate, to change the way you treat these artists who don't even have a chance to be nominated sometimes in the categories in which they participate. Like, all of that shit, it just doesn't mean anything. It doesn't mean anything. So I don't know. I thought that shit was just like, girl. And child, let me go ahead, because I've already seen a couple of you ask me about this whole like Nicki Minaj thing. What really upsets me is that I have friends who really like Nicki Minaj, and I do not blame them because Nicki Minaj is extremely talented. What upsets me about Nicki Minaj, though, is that, like, I think I've said this before, is that she thinks that people telling her to do better is like an attack on her person. Like, she thinks that people saying, hey, sis, like, we could probably go about this a different way. I don't know why you're doing this. She thinks that that's an attack on who she is. And it's just like, but now she's to the point where it's like, you can't, to me, I'm just like, I can't defend sis. Like, I just can't. And some people will be like, oh, well, y'all allow these male artists to get away. I'm just like, okay, y'all allow these male artists to get away with anything. I'm just like, first of all, you must be new here. That's because I definitely do be dragging these male artists. But I think when I start talking about Nicki Minaj and it gets me angry, some people interpret that as like, oh yeah, you tearing down a Black woman. No, I'm angry because I'm like, sis is extremely talented, and I hate that she does shit like this. I just, but it's just, and then I tweeted it. I'm like, it's just following the trend of what a lot of artists in R&B and hip hop do. They would be more willing to, and it's definitely bigger than just the Nicki Minaj. Like, especially these male artists, like, they would rather work with like abusers. They would rather work with, or some of them, they are abusers. They would rather work with people who love to assault, sexual assault, than actually seeking out. And then this is why I'm always like, y'all are so hilarious when y'all talk about, oh, y'all are Black first. They would rather work with those type of people than seeking out like LGBT artists to actually do some shit with. And there are many, many, many of them, right? So I just don't understand. And she's Nicki Minaj, so it's not even like she has to do it. It's just, it's weird. And I just wish that 6ix9ine would just disappear off the face of the planet. I'm so tired of seeing his ass. I'm just so tired of seeing his ass. I'm tired of seeing that rainbow ass wig. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm tired of seeing y'all go up for this fucking non-black ass motherfucker say nigga all the time, and you won't even pay. And anytime an LGBT black person gets on the scene or says anything, y'all want to tear their ass down. I'm tired of that shit. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. I'm tired. So like when I'm talking about, or when we're just on the subject of Nicki Minaj right now, but it's a huge problem, I think, in the hip hop industry as well. I remember I forget who it was. I don't want to say the wrong person. I don't know if it's Justine or something. I don't know if it's Miss Guy. But there have been multiple occasions where female artists have been like, girl, yeah, I've been abused by this person, but nobody's gonna give a fuck because they're gonna keep buying his shit. Like they still support him. It doesn't matter. Like, or whether they're scared to speak out, or they speak out years later because they know that people are gonna think that, oh, you're just bringing this up because you're jealous or you're mad. It's a trend that I think needs to be taken care of. Like it just needs to go. It needs to go. It needs to go. It needs to go. It was Justine. Yeah, it was. Yes. She was talking about that. She was like, I think she was at the Trash Fest Club, I think. Where she was just like, yeah, I was abused by a particular person, but I'm not even gonna say it. I'm not even gonna like talk about it because it literally won't matter. It literally won't matter. And she's not wrong. So that's what I'm like, I think there definitely needs to be a real like discussion about this shit and like you should feel safe at work. Period. You should feel safe at work. But for so many black LGBT, for so many black women, you know, in the industry, that's not the case. And so I don't know. I just think if we abandon this culture of enabling people who are abusers, it would free up the space for black women, black LGBT to exist. Hey, Black Feminine TV. Hold on, to exist and work without that pain. You know what I mean? Constant fucking pain, constant erasure, people constantly like devalue, undervaluing you. Justine class. Black Feminine TV. What's up? Justine said she was abused by Shaq West and her BFF Kendall went to his concert after. Yeah, that shit is just like. And so if you know, no one's being held accountable, it's just going to continue to happen. So I don't know. You hate to see that. Something else that you hate to see. Miss Lizzo dragged the shit out you girls. And I think she was on TikTok where she was showing like the workouts that she does. And the girls still found a way to like take a huge shit on her. And I said this on Twitter already, but that's how I know that I'm just worried about her health. Like that's how I know these takes are not grounded in any type of actually caring for her, not grounded in anything that even resembles reality. Because when sis went up here and showed y'all how she works out, y'all still found a way to shit on her. So what's up? So you assume people don't work out, you shit on them. When people show you that they are working out, you still shit on them. So what they supposed to do? That's the same way that y'all will be all up in somebody else's business, giving your unsolicited opinions about somebody's body, talking about you need to take your ass to the fucking gym. And then when they take their ass to the gym, y'all in the gym taking pictures of them, posting them on Twitter, posting them on social media, making fun of them. What do you want people to do? 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 And it's like, The same people dragging. I was like, wow. I literally saw the video of Lizzo working. I was like, oh, that's cool. One about my business. Next thing I know, this shit is trending because y'all are fucking being evil to her again. You bitches who are making fun of her ass, y'all can't even walk up a flight of steps without being winded. Meanwhile, her ass is doing whole shows, twerking, dancing, moving, and playing the flute at the same time. Bitch, if I'm moving my body and blowing wind into a damn instrument, I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind. I'm going to be lightheaded. I'm gonna fall flat out on the stage. Period. But she does it all the time. So this fake like caring about fitness and health, y'all don't actually care about this woman's fitness or health. You don't give a fuck about it. Because if you did, you will see that sis has the stamina, girl. She's up there. I'm like, sis, you know you're dancing, right? And then the flute gonna drop down from the ceiling. She gonna start playing it like nothing happened. It's just like, y'all, you're not. You can't compete where you don't compare, sis. And she said what she said. She said, like, I'm working out for me, basically, and I'm sure she's working out so that she can continue to have the same stamina that she does on stage. She's singing, dancing, and playing the goddamn flute. She said, these are my workouts. I'm working out for myself. I've been working out. Period. I know that y'all want to comment on my body, but that's not it. And it's just like, I know it seems like every time something happens with Lizzo, I'm over here talking about it, but it's just, I cannot imagine how, like, every time you move in public space, someone has a whole dissertation on you. Every time you post a video, every time you working out, every time I can only imagine, as strong as she is, and I don't like using that whole black woman strong type of thing to like soothe or act like the abuse that she's getting is just easy to go through. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying as obviously strong as she is, I'm sure that can wear on anybody. That can wear on anybody. So I'm so tired. I'm so tired of that shit. What? JT? The girl can't even take a breath while people drag her. Yeah, I just think that is just so, like, we're bored at this point. Y'all don't have anything else to do. We're bored. We're bored. We're bored. We're bored. We're bored. Sister's over here working on herself. Of course, doing her art, doing her shows. And y'all are just typing. It's so, oh my God. Okay. What do you think about Candace Owens' recent statements? Honestly, I just try to just mute her off my timeline and don't even think about it. I think like years before, every time she would say something, I'd get my ass on here and drag the shit out of her ass. But it's like, what she's saying ain't for me. What she's saying ain't for the people who associate with me. What she's saying ain't for the people, ain't for my friends. She know exactly who she's talking to. She ain't talking to me. She's talking to people who sign her checks. And you know, if she want to be a bird, I'll let her flap her fucking wings. Like, she's just like, she infuriates me. But and for my own health, I try to keep her ass off my timeline, because that's what pays her bills, is the fury of other people, and you know, her kissing the ass of the same system that wants to see her 6 feet fucking under. So, you know, good luck to her. Hope the checks are worth it. That she is a whole other, like, that's honestly, I feel pity for her ass. Well, she was the same one filing discrimination suits and shit up here talking like this. That must you must live a really torn ass life, because you cannot be in those conservative circles, and even if you act like you don't see the rampant racism, you cannot be there and not fucking see that shit. So I can only imagine how mentally torn she is. Like, and then up here pretending on social media like she got all that shit together. I can only imagine what the stuff of her nightmares look like. I can only imagine. Yet you have to be mentally like so conflicted to be saying this shit and obviously seeing that shit because she ain't. I was gonna say she ain't stupid, but she has some sense of perception. Is what I'm saying. So you cannot tell me that she don't see what's going on. She clearly does, and she's continues to say the same bullshit. That must be a hard life for her ass. Money only worth so much, and I'm acting like I got a lot of it. I clearly do not. But money is only worth so much when it comes to like peace of mind, when it comes to your self image, how you see yourself, when it comes to what I can only assume is like a fractured community that she's in. You know, it can only be worth so much, but that's her life. So a lot. So there's this big conversation. I'll end it here because this shit is long as hell. There's this conversation happening about B Simone. And in one of the videos, okay, let me tell you why I think a lot of people are going so hard on B Simone. I think in combination of what she said about what the fuck did she say? It's so much bullshit that she said it's hard to keep track. Shit. Was she talking about? It was some weird shit going on with the protesters and donating and shit. So I don't know. There's this trend with with some of the people who start from where they start and end up where they end up with social media. She was the one talking about, oh yeah, I made millions of dollars or $1 million, blah, 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 blah. Some people are turned off by B Simone because she made money off of the same community that she's trying to shit on right now. That's what it seems like. That's what it seems like. So one of her first videos was, or one of the first, recent things that she was talking about was, she can't date nobody who's in the 9 to 5. They won't understand her lifestyle. If I'm up at 3 a.m. working on some shit, I need to look over. My babe need to be working on some shit too. I'm like, it's not that she said. I think it's how you say some shit. It's not that she said, hey, I don't know. It's how you say some shit. And it's also like, girl, don't spend that meal too quickly. You know what I mean? It's like, please do not act like your ass is Bill Gates and all of a sudden like 9 to 5. It's just, like, please, sis. Like, do not spend that meal too quick. Do not spend that meal too quick. It gives me very much, and I'm not saying that she said it verbatim out her mouth, but like the reason I'm wondering why people are like pressed is the attitude that she now, in my opinion, that she kind of displays now toward people who are 9 to 5. Like, Then she went up and she clarified, I'm not saying that I would. I'm just saying that I love people. She said, I love people who work 9 to 5. I just need somebody who understands my lifestyle, who's gonna match with my lifestyle. Sweetie, somebody who works 9 to 5 can also be up late working on something. Somebody who works 9 to 5 can accompany you on your little trips. And I'm of course, if you, but real, and see, it's really interesting because people who really work for themselves understand, like people who really work for themselves. And sis was talking about, oh yeah, I had friends working for me for free for 3 years. Blah, blah, blah. Like, okay, so people who really work for themselves know that just because you work for yourself or work from home don't mean that you're asking to do whatever the hell you want, whenever the hell you want. I mean, obviously your schedule is more free, but it doesn't mean that you can just lay around and just, oh yeah, girl, I can go with you to anything. Like people who really work for themselves or have a brand for themselves or something know that they got a schedule too, usually. You know what I mean? So it's just weird, like attitude, like, oh girl, that people kind of have an issue with. And oh, somebody says she being employed by Nick Cannon anyway. Yeah, so it's just my thing is, if you work a 9 to 5, work that 9 to 5. If you starting a business, start that business. If you're a full-time writer who works from home, do that shit. If you're a creative who works from home, do that shit. You know what I mean? If you're a student, do that shit. If you a hustler, do that shit. But you know what I mean? If you trade stocks from home all goddamn day, do that shit. Like, it makes no sense for us to have these like weird classist shits going on in our community when everybody is over here like hustling. Like everyone is working, everyone is striving to accomplish whatever goal it is that they have. Everyone is trying to get money, period. So I don't know. I just think we have to be very careful, especially when you catch yourself trying to be somebody's entrepreneur and you're like shitting on people with 9 to 5s or like acting like you didn't struggle or you didn't live in your car or you know what I mean? It's not, and also like I said, she didn't say she hates people who work 9 to 5 or she should not. It's just the way that she approached it, the attitude around it that started from when the protest kind of started. That people kind of are just like, okay, girl, like you're doing a little too much. You know what I mean? You're doing a little too much. And she think that people grinding at 3 a.m. make more money than a 9 to 5. Exactly. Some people have sacrificed a solid, confirmed salary, a high salary. Some people have sacrificed to work for their goddamn selves because they prefer, for them, the pros outweigh the cons. Someone can be working for themselves, staying up 3 a.m., and still it takes them a long time to see any money. It takes them a long time to see money. It takes them a long time. Sometimes their plans fail. They have to start over again. Sometimes it takes a lot of time. So it is just, I don't know. I do not like when people talk like that. And that's kind of what you're seeing when you talk about the reaction to B. Simone. That's that's kind of what you're seeing. And I don't know. It's just like I said, the attitude. B. Simone is not the only one, but anytime I hear that kind of like weird attitude surrounding people who work 9 to 5s or people who choose a specific career path other than what you think is acceptable, it's just like calm your ass down. Calm your ass down. And I don't know. I'm glad my mama taught me to be realistic about life. And what I mean by that is the same shit that your ass think you want to be bragging about today and shitting on people because they don't have it today. The next second you wake up, that shit could be gone. So if you base your whole self-esteem off of whatever it is you think you have, or the things you think you have, or the followers you think you have, or the amount of people who watch you, or the amount of people who know your name, like if you base your whole self-esteem, your self-worth off of that, you wake up and that shit says 0, you wake up and something happens, emergency happens, you got to dish that shit out. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Like that shit is very empty. It's not, and even after you have all of that shit, you built your whole personality off of that. You find that it's not fulfilling. You know what I mean? So yeah, you find real quick that shit is not fulfilling. You have to build your person. You have to build yourself off of things that last, and not money, not no followers, none of that shit. That shit fluctuates. Could be here 1 second, gone the next, and then now you left with what? Shit. So yeah, I think I'm done. My ass need to go drink some damn water. I'm over here. um, But yeah, check me out on Patreon. Thank y'all so much for those of you who have been going over there, checking that out and leaving me suggestions. Actually, I'm really happy that you all liked the kind of podcast style video I did, because obviously it helps me switch shit up. But there, like I said, there are some days where I'm like, I do not want to turn this camera on, look into it. So speaking into a mic sometimes is a little bit more, it helps me to be a little more relaxed. But y'all definitely said like, okay, this is real cute, Adrian, but I want to see your face. So it's definitely not going to happen every day, but that's good. That's good that for me it can be an option. So I'm ASMR feels with your smooth ass voice. Thank you. But yeah, it's definitely gonna be an option. Not gonna happen every day, not gonna happen often, but I'm glad that y'all enjoyed it. That does mean a lot. But check me out on Patreon. Like I said, I really appreciate those of you who are supporting, and the fact that y'all did it during these crazy times is really nice. I have a goal to meet, like a certain number of patrons to meet. I don't know where I'm at right now. Like it's one, I think the third goal. Of course, I'll update the goal when I meet it. But the goal is like it's so close, and I promise to release one chapter of one chapter of like the sequel of the whole fantasy ebook Seraxia thing that I wrote. And I'm just like, sis, goddamn. Like, I'm almost done with the chapter, but I don't think I'm going to release a full chapter. That's going to give away too much of the story. But yeah, I'll definitely release something. Hold on. I want the story to be more fleshed out than it was last time. I want to include more detail. I want it to be it. So I'm taking my time with it, but I'm definitely going to release at least a couple, something cute, once I reach the next goal for my patrons and subscribers. I really appreciate the support. Thanks for listening to my crazy ass. I will definitely see you all later this week. Follow me on Twitter. I'm always running my mouth over there. Love you so much. And I'll talk to y'all soon. Bye.